I recently have been thinking a lot of the maniacal and straight-up evil ways of women. I want to talk about the nice guy dynamic and how women turn down guys who are nice to them. Let me clear something to you before we even start. When women say they want a nice guy, they don't actually mean a guy that treats them nicely. They mean a guy who looks nice and sexy and has the money to afford nice things and expensive dinners. A regular nice guy will take her out to dinner, pay for her food, go home, and set her furniture and return home. The nice guy woman once will force them to split the bill, insult her all along the way, and still end up sleeping with her. Why? Because he turns her on physically. The nice guy doesn't turn her on. He treats her like a man should. When the bad boy insults, he still gets her, while the nice guy is out there whining and begging for it. Nothing turns off a woman more than a guy who begs. A lot of nice guys have ruined their lives like these, becoming better providers for women. Nice guys are also learning now, and they're realizing they were the prize all along. I read a story like this. The guy goes on to say this: "I was wonderful to you. I was a gentleman, and I treated you with respect like a lady deserves to be treated. I enjoyed your company and you had my full attention, and I didn't expect anything in return from you. I'm a good provider and I want marriage and kids in the future. I could have been the man of your dreams, but you couldn't see this, or maybe you just didn't care because you were too busy texting. But now you've hit the wall and you're ready to date me. So you'll excuse me, but I don't really care for you anymore. I'm not jumping with joy here to be with you. Meanwhile, you were taking every opportunity to sleep with any guy with a neck tattoo or prison record. Why would I even want to date you now?" So I think this was a nice narration of a guy who finally realized that women are just not worth the squeeze. Women don't give you the best years of their life, but then come running back, expecting to be treated the same way. She feels entitled to having the same level of respect and desirability, but it's all gone now. Let's face it, women that have passed their prime are like expired milk. Women age like milk. In Asia, such women are called leftover women because usually after 30, if you're still an unmarried woman, it means you were too unstable to marry anyone. No man ever wanted to marry you. But there was one thing that the nice guy got all wrong. He decided to go after young women in their 20s and didn't realize that women in their 20s are just bad news if he's trying to attract them. It's not going to work out well if he's still using his car and clothes, as well as his career, to be with women like these. Even if you lance one of those 20-something hotties, they'll get married and have a couple of kids and then divorce him because she realizes that he's deep down a beta. Actually, the entire dilemma is with this beta and alpha dynamic. The woman wants to breed with the most alpha male among men, so she passes on high-quality genes. The beta male, however, also wants to reproduce and pass on his genes. So that's where the dilemma comes in. The reality is, however, 10 women would rather be impregnated by one man than 10 men who are betas impregnating those women. Society, however, took it backwards and forced one man and one woman to marry for life. And if they're divorced, they spit on the male and throw them out of society. The men work like mules to build civilization and sacrifice their lives for women and children for progress. Now they aren't rewarded for it. Now that the damage has been done, society is coming closer and closer to recognize that the nice guy is actually a valuable part of society. Nice guys are realizing that they are the real prize. What the guy in the story did wrong was blame the individual women for not settling down with him. In reality, all females are like that. It's in their nature. Women could be ugly, having a bald spot and wearing dentures, and she will still want to have a baby with Brad Pitt. Girls get bored quicker than guys who are always jumping up to go to the next guy. In the past, I had an experience like this where I was friend-zoned by a girl, and then she saw how successful I was. She didn't want to be with me at first. She wasn't interested because I don't really dress flashy and had a Clark Kent vibe outside. But all I had to do was flash a couple $100 and treat her poorly, and she started chasing me. Because if I can afford to turn her down, I have options, right? Women will rather make a judgment considering what satisfies her in the short term instead of the long term. When guys are looking for quality women in their 20s, they basically want to settle down with them. They're basically looking from a generation where such women don't exist anymore. Women in their 20s today just want to have fun. It's all about women having fun until they reach their 30s. Then they realize they also have to settle down. Even then, women want everything from a guy: height, money, humor, and good looks. I think it will be great if everyone adopted the "no more I'm a nice guy" mentality. The wrong thing about the story I said above is that the man in it is still pushing men to be married. I think he should learn his lesson and stop being nice and helpful to women. Not because he's no longer a nice guy, but it's just worth the effort. The problem is, for us men, it's natural to be nicely behaved because we want to be obedient to women. But for a woman, that's like getting a dog. Women want a slave they can mold into the type of slave they want you to be. If you're already nice and submissive like that, that's a sign for them that some woman has already broken you down and you're pretty much used goods at this point. With modern day feminism, nice behaved men are also being molded by society as a whole. That's what has been actually going on for the past 5 years. There is a subtle programming going on to make men more and more submissive towards women. That's why I have aimed to reverse things on this channel. Tell men what it actually means to be a nice guy and a nicely behaved guy. It's still sinking what kind of world is coming to. The dynamics are also reversed. Teaching men to be submissive and nice and telling women to rude. If you watch old movies in the 1960s, you'd see that the women behaved very nicely in the past. Those were also happy times and people lived longer. Now women are vile and horrible and have zero loyalty and respect. Women are just taking advantage of better providers and destroying them in divorce courts. I can understand those guys who have gone through all of this and are no longer the nice guys they were. It's scary how blue pill men are willing to sacrifice their lives for women, even when they have a clear view of what female nature is really like. They don't realize that if they get rejected in their 20s, what makes them think they won't be rejected again? If they still keep playing the game, they risk their entire income, pensions, property, and savings. With women getting worse and worse and a wave of social degeneration coming in, it's unrealistic to think future women will be more behaved and nice. Any hard-working rich guy is kidding himself if he thinks he'll be victorious the second time around. There is no society-wide solution for this problem. This is all related to human nature. The solution needs to come from every individual male. He needs to stop handing out free favors to women and being the nice guy. Painting her house and washing her car, and all that stuff that modern-day media teaches us now. We need to get away from all this nonsense and insanity so women start coming back to their senses. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. Remember to tune in tomorrow to get your daily dose of the red pill.